Hello and welcome to the Nameless Ones. My name is Aileen Doyle and I am a healer and life coach. We're looking at the August energies. The most important question that comes to mind for you at this time is, what do you need to detach from so that you can attach to something else? So, what do you need to detach, move away from? What timeline or reality are you now ready to detach from so that you can choose to attach somewhere else that feels like a better fit for you, that feels calmer, that feels expansive, right? So when we have a decision like this to make, and this Venus retrograde will certainly require unexpected decisions from many of you. I do see surprises, I do see some shocks and some information coming to light for some of you in August. It could also be the very end of July, but I'm just focusing more on the August energies now. So when we have two paths diverging, we have to pick. You need to ask yourself, which path expands my energy and gives me space to grow and truly feeds my heart and soul? So often it's advised that we try on different decisions because the body never lies. The body knows, the heart knows. So if you try on one reality, does it give you comfort? Does it give you safety? But does it keep you shrunk or small? Does it keep you restricted or limited? Sometimes the soft, easy option would feel good for a day, but as we go long term, is there actual room for you to expand and grow within that reality? Is there room for you to breathe, to be, to activate all your gifts and energies and to fully embrace the fullness of who you are long term? Okay, so August is about looking at the bigger picture and deciding what action you're going to take that you can now commit to, because you've detached from something that you needed to let go, you needed to detach from, you needed to peel your energy off that so that you could redirect and go towards something else that feels right for you, that feels expansive. Now, sometimes the other option, when we try it on, it's scary, right? Because it's new. And the brain doesn't like us to get into new things that are unfamiliar simply because of that, because it's not familiar. The brain can't decide whether that's a fear. Like the brain is designed to keep us safe. So you're going to have to drop down into what I call the first brain, which is your gut. A lot of scientists call it the second brain. For me, as a sensitive, that's definitely my first brain. This feels things before this. This is, to me, the brain is good at calculating things and measuring things, but when it comes to big, soulful, heart-based, navigational decisions, I trust my gut. So sometimes the new way which isn't familiar, isn't in our comfort zone, it's not necessarily comfortable, even though it's scary, there's something in you that says, I have to try this. I have to go this direction now. I have to be open to this, because the other way is comfortable, but it's tried and tested. I know the pitfalls. I know the dead ends of that situation. So hopefully that helps you to decide what you're going to detach from, so you can decide where you're going to move forward to. I also got this really strong today, all about animals and pets, okay? So I think a lot of people are going to be connecting with their pets more in August, or getting a new dog or cat, or it's like we've a really strong focus on home as well. Some people are going to be unexpectedly moving. Some people are going to be really delving deep into family and family issues. We've got ancestral wounds being looked at. We've got clearing out the family closet of secrets. Like I said, this energy for August is a very exposing, okay? It's quite expose. It's looking at anything that's been like hidden information will very definitely be brought into light in August. So you might find out some family secrets, or you could, if it's not in your family, you might find out about someone else, or you might find out something happened with your neighbors that shocks you. People who've been having affairs, it will be revealed. People will be stunned. But if it's not personal for you, you might notice in the world, in the news, that there's a lot of exposing information as well. So there'll be tribunals, there'll be trials, there'll be where people were keeping secrets and things like that. There'll be an open energy. So the pet thing was like, I feel like some of you will be having dreams about maybe past pets that have gone back to spirit that you're reconnecting with, or they're showing up as a spirit guide for you, which is a really beautiful thing. And like I said, some of you will be feeling ready to get a new pet. So animals, I just got a really strong focus on animals. And when I actually went into work, it was interesting because we ended up having a big animal discussion. So there's definitely something in that, because I woke up with that. And when I wake up with the angels saying stuff to me, clear as crystal, I know I need to talk about it. So when you're doing your meditation, even, you can invite in the spirits of pets that have departed, which is lovely. I have Poppy, my cat that we had for 21 years, who I love dearly. Sometimes he shows up in dreams, and sometimes he comes in to my circle when I'm meditating, right? So you might hear from past family members that you haven't heard from for years. You might get a sudden surprise or shock. Like I had this happen to me last week. Somebody that I loved and cared for and admired, I found out that they had died the day before. And it really, really shocked me and hit me. Even though the day they died, which was the day before I found out, I felt something in my energy. I felt, and I was talking about that family a lot, and I was definitely my focus was being pulled to think and connect with the energy of that family. A wonderful family that I have great respect for. So I had to take time off work to travel to go to this funeral, and it was incredibly sad, like incredibly, what's the word? Deep. it ran really, really deep. And I'm still, this is a few days later, I'm still processing it, and probably will be for some time. This man was like a father figure in many ways for me. And his funeral had a huge impact on me. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next week or two, it's I'm not saying you'll be going to a funeral, please God, no, hopefully not. Nobody wants that. But what I'm saying is, expect the unexpected. These energies over the next month, with August coming in, are like this intensity. I think we're settling into it now. We're settling in because July was very interesting. And what I find is, if July wasn't that crazy for you, like it was pretty crazy for me, you're probably going to have the balance of that. The things that need to rise to the surface will probably show up for you in August. But I have to say, it's a very dynamic energy. There's a lot of support in it. Like there's it's cleansing, it's cathartic, it's therapeutic energy, and that's always good. And those of us on the spiritual path, like, we eat this shit because we want to grow and we want to activate and we want to upgrade. So we willingly flow with those energies, and Spirit knows it. And that's why we're often sent. Like I was sent to this funeral. I knew I had to go. I felt magnetized to be there, to hold a space, and to send strength and light and healing to the people I love who were experiencing the loss of that beautiful man. So sometimes we get that, we get a shock and something really upsets us, but yet there's this strength that comes in as an empath, as a healer, as a carer, as a lover, that no matter what it takes, you're going to support that person, you're going to show up for that person. And I feel like that's the energy of the next week or two. So what else do I feel for August? So you got to stay grounded. Okay. So with these shakes and rattles and shakes, okay, and earthquakes as well. I kept getting earthquakes. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an actual earthquake, but sometimes I get that message from the angels, and what it actually means is earthquakes in our internal world, earthquakes in our belief systems, earthquakes in our relationships. Okay, so everything's okay, don't worry, it's all working out in a beautiful way. Okay, I love that. And she's giving healing. That beautiful angel is giving healing, that fairy angel. So that's the energy as well for August. I feel like things they're calm. It's like a weird dichotomy. They're calm on the surface, like we're able to keep going, we're able to keep dancing the dance, but there's a lot happening internally. There's a lot of reflection. If you haven't heard from past family members or a friend, or a lot of you have already had your ex show up in some way, or the one that got away, your twin flame perhaps who you haven't heard from in 10 years, or maybe your ex-husband, or someone, a first love, or someone that you have a deep flame in your heart for. If you haven't had that, you might just be feeling very nostalgic, very reminiscent of the good old days. Perhaps you've been single for a while and you're remembering how beautiful it feels to be in a magical union with somebody and to be sharing in a romantic fashion in a relationship. So you could be missing that. And in the missing of it, you're healing something, right? You're feeling it. You're reflecting on what you learned from that relationship or that friendship. So this can also come in family formats as well, where maybe there's a sister or brother you have not had contact with for a while, and you get the chance to do that, okay? So everything's okay. Business venture, trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. So lots of gold, lots of Midas touch. This is a very creative month. So I feel like there is going to be a career opportunity for some of you, and it's going to be something new. It's something outside of, you might have to learn new skills, you might have to do extra training. I feel like you might have to put some extra work in, but I feel it's worth doing, because it's going to stretch you into this new timeline, because August is 100% a new timeline for everybody. Unless you're just completely shut down and not connected to anything and you just refuse. But even still, I think you'll be dragged by the hair, by the ponytail into this new timeline. So trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. So there is a creative element, there's a creative flair. Now, it's not advisable to start up a new business at Venus retrograde, but if you're working on a project and you're working towards that, keep the ideas flowing. I do feel a very creative energy in myself, so I'm imagining that creative energy is just going to continue to flow through August. Dietary change, improve your diet, and your life will also improve. So some people are making a big change with the way they eat, their lifestyle, and they're deciding that, you know what, I got to try something new. I feel like with all these, and Chiron retrograding as well. I mean, Chiron is going to bring up, if you have any abandonment issues, if you have fears around being abandoned, being like you don't belong anywhere, like you're the black sheep, this Chiron retrograde is most likely going to highlight what your negative beliefs are around that, and ask you to cleanse them and release them, or at least reshape them, make them softer, make them easier to manage. Summer, everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. So yeah, August is the end of the summer, so that's a lovely timeline card. Affirmations. To lift up your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations. So for me, this card is about looking at those thoughts, those thought patterns that you've attached to an old relationship, or that old family member that's reshown, or whatever's coming back for review. You're going to have to be really sincere and honest with your thoughts around that situation. You're going to have to face it square on, and you may have to have some real deep heart-to-heart discussions with that family member. Maybe it's someone you fell out with in the family, or maybe it's a partner from your past that you're no longer in a relationship with, but you need to have those very healing conversations. And I do feel these are very, very cathartic, very therapeutic conversations, and I feel like they will give some people closure. I feel like they're going to release a lot of tension in people. Perhaps even forgiveness is exchanged, and there's just a sense of, okay, I can feel compassion for that person now. And then you got connect with nature. You're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. So one of the most important messages that the angels gave me about 2 hours ago, as I was pondering, what are we going to say here for August? They said this: stay out of your head, get out of your head, stay out of your head. And I was like, okay, that's a really, really strong, clear message. So the card about connect with nature is ground your energies, anchor yourself into nature, walk barefoot, get those electromagnetic energies flowing again, have a polarity healing session, go for reflexology. Anything to do with the feet is going to be brilliant. Foot massage, reflexology, grounding with the bare feet, walking on the beach, walking on the sand, go for a swim. Bring it back to basics, because with all these planets retrograding and everything that's going on internally in a very, very deep, soulful space for August, we need to also stay in our bodies. And if you're someone who's going through a heartbreak, the end of a marriage, maybe you're grieving the death of somebody, you're going to need lots of exercise, as in movement. You're going to need to go for that cold water dip. I've been doing cold water dips and they've just been so powerful, and they're a great way of stopping that mind chatter, that crazy mind chatter that just is so hard. Once you're on that merry-go-round, it's so hard to get off that. So I've just recorded a video before this, and I did some powerful shamanic healing. I've done emotional freedom technique in it. I walk you through it. You can sit back and receive. So if you're struggling right now, or if you're struggling over the next month or 2 or 3 or whenever, you can always come back to that video. I recommend you use it a few times so that it becomes like a routine, that you kind of know what's going to happen, or you start to really connect with the light language as well, which is, by the way, my light language is powerful. It blasts through all kinds of blocks and blockages in your energy field, and all you have to do is tune into it. That's all. It's the path of least resistance. So now, but those of you who are really feeling these energies like I have last week, going for a cold water dip, obviously if you're medically able to do that, if you're in good health, doing things that are grounding, are getting into nature. And it's a great way to ground? Drumming. Any of you who drum out there, put it in the comments below. What kind of drum do you use? Getting out the bodhrán, or just doing like African drums. Drumming is a great way. Dancing, anything that keeps you connected to your physical body, because your emotions are in the physical body. So the challenge for August is not getting enmeshed into the mental body, and not getting pulled into the headiness, the mind of overthinking, analyzing that past relationship, that past marriage, the death of that loved one. Don't overanalyze. So as the angel said, and I'll say it the way they said, like, get out of your head, stay out of your head, get out of your head. They were like, please get out of your head, because you can really hurt yourself by analysis paralysis. And also they're just saying to me now, and let it happen, let it flow, let things come to you. And as they come to you, you will know how to manage them, you'll know how to deal with them, and you will digest them in the moment as they should be. So don't be freaking out about these changes that we're going through. I mean, the last week in July, every year, is usually a week, I've noticed. And my friend was saying she noticed this about me, but I've actually known this for a while. The last week in July is often the week where clients and people in general, humanity and the collective consciousness goes, I'm actually not happy with XYZ. I'm actually not happy in this job. I'm actually not happy being married to this woman, or whatever, right? July is often a time that happens. Now, I don't know what the astrology around that is, or I don't know the ins and outs of the astrology of that. Maybe the astrologers out there could comment on that, or do a video on it, Marty, more videos. I'm always trying to inspire and encourage. But there is this big focus on, like, get in your body. Because what got me through the last few days was when I got the chance after the funeral and after the exhaustion of that, and taking lots of rest. Sleep is another one. Sleep is, if you want a free healing session, take a nap. Seriously, people do not know the power of sleep. Your soul is rejuvenated. It goes back to source, baby. Take that rest, take that sleep. It's really good stuff. But movement, exercise, dance. I just had a really, really, really big dance. You know what I say, when it falls to the floor, it's knocking at your door. Okay. Right. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Okay? So, see, Venus retrograde is clearing out the heart to make space for the person that you're going to choose to be with. Children, your love life is being affected by children. So, you know, for some people, children are going to be a factor. There might be two divorced people who have children. That's not going to work. Or, you know, like the children have a big impact on if we partner up with someone or not. And some people don't want to be with somebody who already has children. Some people don't mind being with someone. Like it's very individual. But you know what that card means. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So this is the family energy. Look at that. This is the ancestral stuff that me and Blue Vibes were talking about. She's really feeling that really strong. And forgiveness, that theme, as I said, the angels were talking about forgiveness and reflection. But most of all, stay out of your head. Give your head a break. And just remind yourself, why am I trying to dissect this? I can't think my way into these answers. These answers that I'm looking for are in my heart. They're not in my mind. They're not in my physical brain. They're in my body. They're in my heart. And I will live into the answers as I move through the next few months, because this retrograde with Venus goes on right up till September, and I heard some astrologers say that it would even still be in shadow until October. So we've plenty of time. Don't panic. Give yourself space and time. Let yourself just connect to what's actually happening inside you, because I guarantee you there's a lot happening over the next month. And if you're not feeling this now, I promise you, you're gonna have something to say if you come back to this video at the end of August. Like, I can just feel that for some of you. You're like, I'm not feeling any of that. You come back, baby, and you'll be like, okay. Because that's where I was like 2 weeks ago. And my life has drastically changed. And like I told you, as a channel, I'll often get a heads up of things. So I'll get to experience things first, so that when my clients come, boom, I know what to do. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. So this is no different. Wishing you all a beautiful August. The weather in Ireland is bizarre. We're having like just grey July. It's been tons of rain. It's just been really strange, the weather. We had a beautiful June. So I'm really hoping that the weather picks up, because I love my summer. I'm a summer gal. But yeah, I'm sending you all the blessings. And check out that healing video that I will download soon, if it's not already up. Because, whoa, I felt I was electrified when I was doing it. So that tells me that I'm really channeling some powerful high frequencies. God bless. Bye-bye. Don't forget to give me a like. Thank you.